Peace, family. Peace to the gods and earth. Peace to my collective. Welcome back to the channel, collective. We are back in these hours. We back in them hours, collective. And fun fact about tonight, as I'm in the lab, I'm in my bag, right? And I was sitting in silence and I got to writing as I was coming out of silence, right? And I noticed that the moon, or what, the so-called moon, is up in the sky, people. And it's ironic. It was a crescent moon. So that sparked my attention. And it took me straight to the moon phase. What is this moon phase, right? What phase are we in? And clearly, I could see that we were in the either the waxing or the waning, right? But this is the waxing crescent phase, people. The waxing crescent. Now, I had some herbal essence rolled up earlier. I burnt one, but the weed is getting it's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? I believe I'm indulging a little too much, or I'm just, it's a part of, you know what I'm saying, daily activities and shit, but I don't know. I rolled one up, I stimulated, and it served its purpose, right? But we might just roll one up, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of this video, for the vibe or whatever. Now, brought me to a point though. Let's talk about moon phases, right? Specifically, this moon phase. Now, these automatic notes were jotted on August 28th, which we are now in the morning, in the wee hours of the 29th. But we are still in the waxing crescent phase, right? So let's speak about it for a second. The waxing crescent phase, this is the first phase after the new moon, okay? Follow me for a second. This is the first phase after the new moon. Now, the current waxing crescent moon phase has an illumination, okay? It is illuminated. And if you would go out and look in the sky right now, if you're up or if you get this message in time, or just look in the sky tonight, right? You'll see the crescent illuminated moon in the sky, right? Now, this crescent moon phase has an illumination of 27% right now as of today, and as of right now, moving into the 29th of August, right? No. Yeah. Of August, right? 27%. So, no, the 28th, not the 27th of August, the 28th. I stand corrected. 27% illuminated, right? On this day of the 29th, and yesterday of the 28th. Because realize now we are in these hours. So it's technically the 29th right now, right? So when we speak of this illumination of 27%, it's important for you to know now. The illumination is constantly changing and can vary up to 10% a day. Now, which means it could become more illuminated 10% throughout each day. So that means it'll get brighter, right? As these phases move along. Now, the moon is currently 5.11 days old. So there's 5 days and about 11, 11/10 worth of residue days old, right? Of being up there in our skies. So, and it's important to know this refers to, when I say 5 days old, meaning this refers to how many days it has been since the last moon was up there. So you count the days from when the moon left and you start the days. It's been approximately 5 days since the last moon phase, since the last moon, the last full moon, right? So with that being said, it takes about 29.53 days for the moon to orbit the earth and go through the lunar cycles. The lunar cycles of 8 moon phases. Let me repeat that. It takes about 29.53 days for the moon, right? For the moon to orbit the earth and go through the lunar cycle of 8 moon phases. Now, it's interesting. We're getting into the mathematics of things right now. So, today's moon sign. What is the moon in? Which zodiac? Interesting. Let's speak on it. So, this crescent moon, right now, today, the current zodiac moon sign is in Scorpio. Big salute to the Scorpios. Getting it in, right? Currently, right now, the zodiac moon sign is in Scorpio, positioned at 9.03 degrees. Now, and that's within the sign, positioned at 9.03 degrees within the sign. So today's current zodiac moon sign is in Scorpio and is positioned at 9.03 degrees within the sign, right? So the moon entered Scorpio on August 28th. And this is the wee hours of the mornings leading into the 29th. So this shit is fresh, people. And this is what I'm getting right now. The moon entered Scorpio on August 28th at 4:21 a.m. in them hours, right? In the wee hours of the goddamn night. So, yeah, man, mosquitoes. It's serious, right? And speaking of the mosquito that just popped up out of nowhere, now it hasn't been a mosquito, but I see a mosquito randomly that pops up out of nowhere. That could be a key indication. Somebody who's tuned into this message right now, who is getting some of this ism, some of this game about moon phases, okay? And currently the phase that we in, which are the waxing crescent, somebody watching it. Watch out for the energy vampires. Watch out for somebody trying to drain and suck all of the energy up out of you. And and get your mind out of the gutter. Even though that could be possible as well, but that's not what I'm picking up. Some of you niggas just got your mind in the gutter. I know, y'all tripping over there. But what I'm saying is, be on the lookout. Protect your energy in this moment. Because that was weird. Goddamn mosquito popped up out of nowhere in damn near 50, 40 degree weather. diabolical work. So, but moving on, right? So we said the moon entered Scorpio on August 28th, approximately at 4:21 a.m., right? And it will shift into Sagittarius on August 30th at 4:06 p.m. So it's a lot going on. It's busy in the cosmos, right? So the moon sign, this is important right here. Check this out. The moon sign represents the position of the moon as. That's right, collective. We back. Goddamn phone went dead. See, that's diabolical work. So I decided to go ahead on and roll up one more for the road. We are in these hours. A lot of weird paranormal activity going on. You know what I'm saying? All type of shit. Crazy mosquitoes popping up out of nowhere. And fun fact, you know, the weather is actually switching over. You know, it's about to be fall. And the weather has finally broke in the night times, in the evening times. You know, it's like a smooth 40 degrees up this bitch. 50, maybe 40 at the lowest, you know. So, you know, mosquitoes have been ceasing to exist around this bitch. But ironically, out of nowhere, a mosquito pops up. And then the phone goes dead while I'm in the flow state. But see, this is why I'm great. And not to be braggadocious right now, but this is why, you know, where my gift comes into play at, as far as utilizing my instrument, my voice instrument, which is, you know, my voice, which is utilizing the throat chakra, you know what I'm saying, to express and to connotate and to, you know what I'm saying, the ability to improvise, you know what I'm saying? Just the raw ability to just be able to just speak on camera on go. You know what I'm saying? Being able to improvise, being able to get right back into gear when forks in the road happen. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for a long time, as far as being in the flow state, then all of a sudden getting abruptly interrupted off dumb shit that goes on, and then being able to get right back into that mode. You know what I'm saying? I actually love that shit. And see, when you love something, it doesn't, everything else is obsolete, because you actually enjoy what you're doing, and it's not really a job at that point, because you actually, this is what you came to do. I came to talk my shit in a real way. I came to teach. You know what I'm saying? I came to be a beacon of light. That's a fact. And boy, I tell you, my life in a book, my life in a movie, man, that's crazy work right there. Because I have truly been through the fire, people. What you see now is a real product of just a lot of self work. You know what I'm saying? Going within, so I will not have to ever go without. That's what happened. I had to surrender to the almighty creator of all things. I had to surrender to the divine. And it was a beautiful thing. So, with that being said, this is the product that you see today. And it's more work to be done, people. But I'm clearly in a space that's unmatched, you know. It's like I'm getting real familiar and real comfortable in the unknown, real comfortable being uncomfortable. That's crazy, diabolical work. But yeah, but let's pick this shit back up. Cause we about to bring this thing to a close. This shit was damn near over. The message in the phone went dead. Somebody don't want this question, this message to get out. And I'm finna say this question. Maybe there's a question that needs to be answered, or maybe there are questions that need to be asked. We are in these hours, so nothing is coincidental. You gotta peep the energy on all that shit, collective. Real shit. Now, the moon. The moon sign represents the position of the moon as it moves through the 12 signs of the zodiac, right? Now, each zodiac moon sign lasts about 2 to 2.5 days, right? As the moon travels through that part of the sky. Let me repeat that. Each zodiac lasts about 2 to 2.5 days as the moon travels through that particular part of the sky, whichever phase that the moon is in, traveling through that part of the sky, right? And that's a real thing. And that takes us to the 8 lunar phases. Let's talk about these 8 lunar phases for a minute. Follow me. The moon, right? Check this out. Yeah. Let's talk about these 8 phases, right? And I mean, I'm like, oh, Ray Massey, when you gonna get to it? Listen, time is an illusion, right? We're gonna get this work. We're gonna get this work. Now, the 8 lunar phases. Listen, there are 8 lunar phases the moon goes through in its 29.53 days lunar cycles. So it takes 29.53 days, right, for a lunar cycle to be complete and for the next one to start. So after every 29.53 days, after the moon has ended and the new phase has begun in 29.53 days is when the next one it will arise, right? And that's when the next new moon phase will begin. So that's important. 8 lunar phases that the moon goes through in its 29.53 day lunar cycle, right? So, fun fact, there are 4 major moon phases, all right? 4 major moon phases that the moon goes through. It goes through the full, it goes through the new moon phase, it goes through the first quarter, and then it goes through the last quarter. Now, this is where it gets interesting. And right now we are in the waxing crescent phase, right? So now in between the major phases, all right, it's important for you to know that there are 4 minor phases as well. 4 minor phases that the moon goes through in the midst of them going through the 4 main phases. Now, The minor phases are as follows. You have the waxing crescent phase. You have the waning crescent phase. You have the waxing gibbous. And you have the waning gibbous. Now, people get the waxing and the waning mixed up. And I can see how you probably could, but there's no way you can get the X and the goddamn N mixed up. It's crazy work, but people do it all the time. So it's important for you to pay attention to detail and pay attention to the moon. We are visual people, right? So get the visual, get the depiction of what the phases of the moon actually look like, and then take your ass outside, okay? And actually look. Don't believe me. You know it for yourself. And to know it, what do you have to do? You got to check it out. Simple. So, we went over the 4 main phases and the 4 minor phases that the moon goes through, right? And right now we're currently in the waxing crescent. So, let's bring this thing to a close, right? And let's go over some mathematics for a minute. We'll end it with some mathematics regarding the moon. So, right now, the moon's distance is 4,176,000.61 kilometers away from Earth. From Earth to the moon right now in this moment. Now, the sun angle is at 0.53. Now, the sun distance is 1,501,705,496.46 kilometers. The sun's distance. And the moon's angle right now is at 0.49 degrees. So, those numbers will make your head spin, all right? And it may not calculate in your brain overnight, but it's definitely something that you need to become aware of so that your brain can start clocking the information. Because when you seek, you shall find. The moon phase, people, this is the waxing crescent phase. And it's a real thing. And right now, the moon is in Scorpio. And around the 30th of this month, which is in 2 days. Well, in 1 day now, because it's actually the 29th. So by tomorrow evening, about 4:06 p.m., the moon will be going into Sagittarius. So it's deep, people. Yeah, we in them hours, man. I will that this message was empowering. I will that this message get to the ears and the eyes that it needs to, in the fashion that it needs to. I love you deeply, collective. But more importantly, you gotta love yourself. Peace and chaos.